Hi, this is Karma, your sustainable podcast. I'm Lena, and today I will speak with Eduardo from Hirundo. Have fun!
How did I get here again?
Hello, Eduardo, welcome to my podcast.
Hello, Leonard. It's great to be here.
Yeah, nice to have you. Could you please introduce yourself a little bit?
Hello. I am Eduardo. I'm 36 years old and I'm the founder of Hirundo, a Portuguese sustainable sneaker brand that we launched 9 months ago.
Wow. So you are the founder, and what is Hirundo? You said it's a shoe label?
Yes. So Hirundo is a sneaker company, a sneaker brand, and we are based in Portugal. We all our sneaker at the moment we have one model of sneakers,
Wow.
and they are all white, and the color changes. Color, the sole. Um, so I have another pair here, not very clean, but
Looks very comfortable.
Yes, that was something that we pride ourselves on, is that they are very comfortable, and we always try them on when they're prototypes for a long time to make sure everything is perfect. But the difference with these sneakers is that we try that we select sustainable materials, such as the leather. There's cork on the inside, and here too. The lining is also untanned leather, and so vegetable tanned leather. And so we not only select these materials, but we also select our suppliers and our suppliers. So we go to their factories and make sure that the working conditions are fair, that the ecological process is taken care of, that they have the relevant environmental certifications. And everything is made within a 300-kilometer radius. So everything is more or less, everything is local.
Wow. Okay. That's like a little bit uncommon in times like this at the moment. So can you tell us a little bit from the beginning? So what was your motivation to found Hirundo? I think you have, I don't know if you have a co-founder, and I don't know if you work in the shoe factory or shoe company all the time, or was it something new for you as well?
So by profession, I mean, I was a finance lawyer, so something very different
Yes,
indeed.
very different.
But I've always been passionate about shoes. I remember and about two aspects of shoes: aesthetics. So I think shoes must look good,
Yes.
and comfort. I don't think there's any point in making shoes if you're not trying to make them comfortable. And so when I was young, I remember it started from changing the laces to learning how to change soles or insoles or components to make them more comfortable or prettier, or both. So I was, and during the pandemic, with some partners, the idea of launching a shoe brand came to mind, a bit in a spontaneous way. But we started for fun, looking at factories and looking at suppliers, and we decided to move on. So I launched this with three other partners. One of them is my brother, and the others are friends who have specific skills like designing or marketing that I think are important for us to have.
Yes, sure.
But this came from the passion of shoe the shoe passion,
Yeah.
but it also came because there is a very big shoe industry in Portugal,
Mm-hmm.
and we thought if we don't do it and if we don't try to value this industry, no one will. So
Mm-hmm.
we try to do something for this industry by creating our own brand. So not in a, I'm not saying this in a charity way, but I think that if good brands arise from Portugal, it will be good for the industry.
Yes. Sounds good. Okay, and then last year, Hirundo starts with a Kickstarter campaign. So, what was the benefit of starting the business like this or this way?
So we we decided to do a Kickstarter campaign
Mm-hmm.
because we thought that it would allow us to gauge the consumers' interest in the sneakers.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it would also allow us to do something that we're now trying to replicate on a non-crowdfunding campaign,
Yeah.
which is to have orders before we produce.
Yes. Yes.
And that's very important because
Yeah.
in a way it helps with cash flow, obviously. So it's not just an environmental concern, but it's from an environmental impact, it's huge because you don't have huge collections that go to waste and that no one buys. You already know what people want, you have orders, and you
Yes.
don't need to produce more than that. So
Yeah.
for us, it was the perfect mix.
Yes. Yeah. Sounds great. I mean, it's yeah. It's also nice that you also have like the marketing start with Kickstarter as well directly. I think it's
Yes.
quite nice. So, you said already you do it with also other people. So, who made the design for Hirundo? Was it a teamwork or was it like one person doing like most of the work?
It was a very fun process because I think if you ask uh, most of the people in the team will say that the idea is theirs.
Mhm. Yes, of
Uh,
course.
but and I say this in a good way, which is we have all of us are our own ideas, but we managed to put those ideas into a pair of sneakers,
Mhm.
and I think everyone is very happy with the design. So it was a process. We created, I don't know,
Yes.
around 10 prototypes for
Mhm.
this, and in the end, I think all of us recognize what was our input in the in the sneaker. But the basic shape, I
Mhm.
think, or the basic idea was to create something that was minimalistic and
Mhm.
probably a bit conservative. So it wasn't a breakthrough idea. And then
Yes.
I think the big difference is that we have all these colors.
Mhm.
Uh, we have 11 colors for the sole, so it's quite different. Most brands do the opposite, which is the white sole and the rest changes.
Yes.
Uh, but it's the team that designs. We don't outsource the design, and uh, and even though the idea might come from one or the other person from the team, uh, then everyone gives their input about specific things.
Yes, of course. Okay, nice. So you already said it, but the nice thing, or also the reason why we are talking to each other, is that Hirundo is a sustainable shoe label. Could you tell me a little bit more? I mean, you said that like all the materials come from like a 300-kilometer radius.
Radius,
Yeah.
yes. Uh, the For us, when we started Hirundo, it was we were 100% sure that we weren't going to compromise on sustainability.
Mhm.
The for several reasons, but the I mean, the first one is that if you are creating something from scratch, you might as well do it right. And I mean, everyone is concerned about climate change, about waste in the oceans. I live 200 meters away from the ocean, and I go to the beach and I see plastic, and maybe that plastic came from thousands of kilometers away. So it's a pity to see that.
Yes.
And we decided we wanted to create a sustainable brand. And we looked at this from several angles. The first one was from a local standpoint. So we are Portuguese. There's a huge shoe cluster in Portugal. We have sole manufacturers, insoles, laces, everything is here. So why get it from somewhere where it needs to come from the other one, the other part of the world? And then this wasn't enough. So we decided to choose. Whenever we were choosing between materials, we always chose the most sustainable material. So between the leathers, we looked at certified leather from Portugal. When we were looking at insoles, we wanted the ones that were most easily recyclable. So we looked at. So first was local, then we also looked at the type of materials, and then because we were choosing the most ecological materials, and we had the local supply chain, we were able to actually do something that I think is pretty innovative, which is change our business plan. So from now on, we are able to produce a pair of shoes in under 10 days. So, and our clients value this.
Yes.
So we are now in a moment where we are producing only after we have an order. This is not always true because we have a limited amount of stock.
Yeah.
So if you order a pair that we are always selling, like this is the bestseller color.
The bestseller color. Okay, it's like
Yes.
the yeah, okay, but it's
So-
I mean you can wear it for everything, yeah, that's why maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you order it in the sizes that we sell the most, like 42, 43,
Yeah.
we will have stock. But otherwise, no. And we email clients straight away saying, I'm sorry, but this is our business model and we're going to
Yes.
produce it now. And I think they're even happier.
Yes.
Even the internet has this thing where people want things now.
Yeah.
But on the other way, on the other hand, if you communicate things appropriately, people will understand and will actually enjoy that they're thinking more, that things are not instantaneous.
Yes. I mean, also, I mean, if you, I don't know, go for a new shoe and then you, I don't know, search or find a color and then you order it, and it's also like nice that you then need to wait a little bit before it arrive and not like directly.
Yeah,
I think it's
exactly. I think people understand it. And then, so to be coherent, we ship in Europe. We ship through lorries, through roads, and not plane.
Yeah.
Outside of Europe, that's very complicated because
Yeah.
it would mean boats.
Yes.
And so we haven't found the solution we're happy with yet, but we often look at different solutions to try to see what we can do. And from the beginning, our slogan was slow down. Like it was an anti-fast fashion movement. And then we realized all of this is very coherent because people have to wait to get our sneakers. They come by road, they're not produced, they're not mass produced and all of that. And I think, so we were happy in the end that this made sense.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. So was it, I mean, I think, I thought about if it was difficult to find the regional suppliers for the material, but you already said that like if there is a quite common shoe factor or manufacturers in Portuguese, so maybe it was not so difficult to find these suppliers, or?
No, I think
Yeah. Okay.
there is a. It wasn't hard to find good
Mhm.
suppliers.
Okay, that's
It's but there are two. The drawbacks are two, which is sometimes getting exactly the right color or the right texture is a bit more difficult.
Mhm.
And the other thing is price.
Yes.
It's more expensive.
Yes, of course.
But then on the other hand, we also gain other things like flexibility. We have a problem. I call them. If it's a very big problem and I need to go see them, I can go see them, and
Yes.
solutions are straight away. So
Mhm.
in a way, it's even though it's more expensive, there are other good things like flexibility and reactivity.
Yeah. So like but because also, I mean, price, of course, if you have just like more or all the materials are Portuguese, I think it's also on the market. But I think one shoe is about 150 euro or something, or so one pair.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I
Yes.
think for sneakers, it's also quite in a good range.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Mhm. Yes. I mean, we try to price it at the mid range, so not
Mhm.
uh, exactly luxury, but
Mhm.
above the typical quite above the typical fast fashion brand.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I mean, I saw on your website something about the leather, because I think this is also quite maybe interested also for the people, that you have something like the leather working group. I think it was a certificate or for the leather you
Yes.
use. Could you
Yes.
say something about this quickly?
Yes. So uh, the leather working group is a non-profit
Mm-hmm.
association that certifies leather manufacturers and leather traders
Mm-hmm.
about their supply chain and their manufacturing processes. And we, since we are not vegan and we are using leather, we wanted the leather to be the cleanest possible, and so
Yeah.
we we made sure to have because it's easy to say you want to be sustainable,
Mm-hmm.
but who says that you're actually being sustainable? So we wanted certifications from groups that we thought were relevant and that we thought were credible. So when we searched for leather, we wanted it to be certified by the Leather Working Group, which, from our research, is the I mean the leading entity for leather
Mm-hmm.
certifications. But we are also carbon neutral.
Mm-hmm.
So we also try to get the certification from an institute to ensure that we are doing things correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And we are also in the process of becoming a B Corp. So now we are pending B Corp, which means that we have the criteria,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the minimum criteria to be a B Corp, but we don't have 12-month operations.
Mm.
So they're saying that we need to keep this up, but if everything is so, and these certifications came from a need or uh, an admission from us that we don't know everything and that we need to
Yes.
partner with the guys that know what they're doing to to make sure that we're doing the right things.
Yeah, sure. So you plant trees, I saw on your
Yes.
website, are to compensate your carbon emissions. And do you support like a special project, or maybe also like do it your own? It's also, I mean, it's
Uh,
possible. Plant
yes,
trees.
it's it's possible. Although I plant trees in my garden,
Yes, of course.
the, the, the the project
but
here is
not
not.
a lot of square meters.
No, unfortunately. But the project here is we fund the tree planting project, and the only criteria uh, we wanted two criteria, not just one. One, it had to be in Portugal,
Yes.
and two, it had to be native species. Why? Because I see a lot of planting. I see a lot of companies that are planting trees in the other side of the world.
Yes.
Of course, it makes sense, and probably it's better to plant trees in the other side of the world than not to plant them at all.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, that's right.
But I wanted to be able to go and see the project, and we are a local company. We are producing locally, so we wanted to offset locally.
Yes.
And
that makes sense.
the reason why we wanted to be native species is because here in Portugal sometimes we see planting projects that are a lot about producing trees for other industries. And to be fair, I don't know the ecological impact of that, but I thought it would make more sense to be native species, and we saw a project that appealed to us, and we decided to choose that one.
Okay.
In Serra which is a mountain 200 kilometers away from here.
Okay, nice. So I mean, we spoke a lot about your shoes, but if like somebody is hearing the podcast would like to buy one, how they buy one? How could they buy one?
So
I mean, a pair, of course, not only one shoe, so a pair of your shoes.
at the moment, the only way the way to buy our shoes is online in our website, which is hirundo.pt. But we will have news coming soon about physical places, not just in Portugal, but in other places around Europe.
Yeah, because I mean, also, I had a look at your website and I saw something with stores. I think this is then the news, or maybe that you are planning that the shoes could be also available in some stores around Europe.
Exactly.
In the future, or soon, I don't know. Yeah, let's see.
But we are going to open a store in Lisbon, our own store.
Ah, nice.
Next week. So very soon.
Wow.
So around the 7th of October. I'm saying the date because
wow.
And we are discussing with independent stores in Europe, in other cities, to be present. I'm not going to name the stores because I don't know how they want to communicate this when it's official.
Yeah, sure.
But our own store, I can say it because it's next week. Everything is signed. So
yeah.
it's fine.
I think you are almost on the opening. So yeah, nice.
Exactly,
So it's like just a Hirundo shop. Just a shop where you can. Oh, that's nice.
We might have products, accessories from partner brands that we like, but very little. It'll be an Hirundo store.
Yeah, okay. So what is the next plan? Is there the plan to make another model, or do you want to make like more colors? I mean, you said you have 11 at the moment. I think it's quite quite a lot.
So there is a new model coming up, and for the store, I can show it to you because once this podcast is live, the shoe will be out.
Okay.
But it's a canvas sneaker.
Yes.
With embroidery and some changes here in beige, which is the best-selling color. So this is the next model.
Mm-hmm.
And we are also, what we are trying to do, and this is to be able to change the colors more quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of having 11 colors, we want to have less colors.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe if we get the manufacturing process more agile, we could have them in lower quantities and then change for some limited editions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something we would want to do.
Okay.
And we are also working in some accessories, like socks and things like that.
Okay, nice. So, I mean, then we now spoke a lot about Hirundo, and now, I mean, it's a sustainable podcast, and I want to ask what you're doing in private to be more sustainable. I mean, if you like part of a sustainable company, maybe you also do something in your private. I mean, there are a lot of like recycle garbage is like I think the easiest thing, or beach cleaning. You told me that of course also on Portuguese beaches there are a lot of plastic
Yeah.
trash out there.
So I think I have three kids and
Mhm.
not necessarily the tiny house. So, but I do whatever I can to be sustainable. There are and things where I don't compromise, which is recycling,
Yeah.
avoiding unnecessary waste.
Yes.
I teach my kids that. They think it's a game, but they are at the moment they are the environmental police at home, and
Mhm.
they ensure that everything goes into the right basket and that everything is taken out to the right place.
Yeah.
So then, and this from way before this new crisis that we are in, energy crisis that we are having in Europe. I am very uh, aware and concerned about energy spending.
Mhm.
So we at home we have timers for heating, and we don't have cooling, but
Mhm.
uh, heating comes up very. It's very rare that we turn heatings on. We are also lucky to have mild winters compared to Northern Europe,
Mhm.
but we try to save a lot of that.
Mhm.
And then the other thing where we don't compromise is water spending.
Mhm.
Uh, Portugal has water shortages from time to time, so it's something that Portuguese citizens are aware and must be aware of, and we minimize that at the most.
Mhm.
And then I obviously try, and now I think we launch, and this is partly I try minimizing travel a lot.
Mhm.
We've been spending our holidays here in Portugal.
Mhm.
Obviously, from time to time, I mean, we go abroad. I'm not saying
Yes, of course. No, I mean.
we are fundamental, but we
Mhm.
try to have a lifestyle.
Mm.
Uh, and then just one last point because I think it's
Mhm.
important
Yes, sure.
regarding fashion.
Mhm.
Wherever I buy,
Mhm.
I try it that it's local and sustainable. But
Mm.
even if sometimes I buy for my kids, I don't buy everything sustainable
No, of course.
they because of prices.
Yes.
But everything is used until
Mhm.
until you cannot use it anymore. So
Yeah.
a sweater from my daughter is used by her two brothers. My sweaters I have often clothes that are over 10-year olds, and I like clothes. I have a fashion brand,
Mhm. Yes,
but
of course.
I don't feel the need. Actually I like clothes more than I like fashion, so I
Mhm.
don't feel the need to buy things all the time.
Yes.
The Mhm. So that's more or less what we do at home.
Yeah,
Uh,
that sounds great. I there is one point coming to my mind, what I saw in your campaign, that you maybe have the plan that the shoes could be also repairable. is this like a thing what you would like to do in the future, or was it just an idea during the crowdfunding campaign?
It was an idea.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it would be
yeah.
great, but I think like to resend then like the shoes to you to Portugal, I think yeah, at the end it would be also a cost thing.
The thing is, yes. So I'm going to tell you how this works.
Yes.
So we've had one repair so far, and it worked. And if it's on our website, and if a client sends us a pair to be repaired, we will repair. But at the moment, it's very difficult for us to implement this on a global scale. But we have an idea of how it could work. So at the moment, it's working, but it's not scalable. We have an idea of how it could be scalable, and it's something that if we could do it, I would be so happy. So
yes, I think it's a great idea.
So it's not forgotten, and it's something we're working on, but at the moment it's not priority number one.
Yes, of course.
And it's something that works on a very labor intensive, because we need, and it doesn't make sense, imagine, for someone in Germany to send shoes here
yes,
to be repaired.
and then you send it back there. I mean, would be make sense
Exactly.
that you have like a local shop that can make they repair it locally, or it's within Germany, like there is one shop they can repair, or they have like all the stuff that's necessary, and yeah, then it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we would need to partner with independent cobblers.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Lena.
It was really nice to have you.
It was great. It's the first time I did this. I hope it's
How did I get here again?
Do you like my podcast? Then please subscribe.